Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create parameters and cascading parameters in SSRS. So to save time, let's get started. To save time, I've already created a query here that returns this data, basically the order, year, total, territory, and territory group from the AdventureWorks database. The AdventureWorks 2012 database is the one I'm using. Right here, you can see it right here, AdventureWorks 2012. That's the one that I'm using. So if you don't have it, you can go download it from Microsoft's website and we can get started. So let's go ahead and open up Visual Studio and create a new project. Let's call this one parameters. So the first thing you notice is there's no report data pane down here. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. You want to go ahead and add a new report first. We'll just call this one new report. Report 1, leave it alone, the name. And when you click on view, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So if you click off of that, you see it's not there anymore. But if you click on the actual tab of the name of the report, it shows up. So if you don't have this tab, that's how you get it back, because when I switch from SSIS to RS, a lot of times this tab just disappears. So a lot of people always have that problem. So that's how you get it back. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and go to data sources. We're going to create a new data source. I'm just going to leave that data source 1. We're going to click edit right here. Your server name is, if you go into your SQL and go to connect, here's your server name right here. So you can always just copy it and pop it in right here. We're going to use AdventureWorks test connection. It's good to go. Alrighty, we got our data source. Now let's add in our data set. We can just leave this as main data set. We want to use our data source 1, which is our AdventureWorks. Let's grab this query. Now, whenever I paste a query in here, for the most part, I go to the designer just to make sure that it works. So there we go. It works. We got our main data set in. Now let's go ahead and grab a simple matrix. And in this matrix, we want to get, let's say we want the territory group. Then we want the territory. And then we want the total, and we want the years as well. So let's preview this data. So we have all of our data here. It's all jumbled up, but we got it. It's on the screen. So now let's work with this and make this actually readable. And also more user-friendly. We're going to add in the parameters. So I guess let's do the parameters first. So to put in parameters, you need to modify your main data set. And in here, you need to add a where clause. Now, the 3 parameters we're going to choose are year, the territory group, and the territory name. Now, the territory names are part of the territory groups. So that's going to be where our cascading parameters come into play. But let's do the regular parameters first. So let's do the year first. And we're going to call this parameter, let's just call it year. And we want our group, our territory group, in a parameter called territory group. And we want our territory name in a parameter called territory name. Okay, let's see. Verify that you connect to the data source. Oh, spelled it wrong. So, let's go back here and see where we made the mistake. Oh, that's where it is. So, this was supposed to be year, order date. There we go. Save it. And now when we preview it, we'll see it's asking for a year. So I know the years in here are 2005, 6, and 7. So let's just say 2005. Territory group, we're going to say America. Or let's just say Europe. And territory name, we want Germany. There it goes. So the parameters are working. But who's trying to memorize all this? So we want it to be where it's a drop-down list. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to add some functionality to this. So in our data sets, we're going to add 3 more data sets. The first one we're going to use is we're going to get a list of the years. So we're going to call this year param. We're going to use our regular data set, and then we're going to go into our query designer. Here we want to select the year of the sales. Guess we don't need this because there's no joins in here. From sales.sales order header. Now, I'm going to show you this on this one, and I'm going to skip through it on the others, but pay attention right here. If I run this, if I can spell it right, if I run this, you see how many records it's pulling in. Literally, it's 2005, 6, and 7, and 8. I should have 4 records, but it's giving me all these. Now, if I went ahead and hit OK, and when I go to my drop-down menu, I'll show you actually. So we got our parameter year. We're going to go to our parameters up here. Now, these 3 should have popped up when you put them in the main data set, that where clause. Go ahead and double-click it. We want to allow multiples. Now the available values, we have our year parameter right here. Expression 1, I'll go back and rename it. I'm just doing this to show you real quick what happens. Let's hit preview. Looks like it's frozen here. Let's try it again. It's actually freezing because of the amount, the 31,000 records of years. So I'm actually going to just let it run. It should take another few seconds and should be done. Okay, look at this. All these 2005, 6, 7. You never want to do that. So whenever you're creating the data set for the parameter, you always want to use a distinct. So you get individual values. So let's go back to the year parameter data set here. We're going to change this to distinct. Let's give it a name. Order year. And let's actually order it by 2 because you don't want it going in random order. So we want to order by year, order date, and we want it to go descending, so you get 2008, 7, 6, 5. Okay, but before I do that, let's run it and show you what it comes up. Now we got 4 records, and look how quick that was. Hit OK, let's save it. We want to go ahead and refresh this whenever we make a change. Let's hit preview now. Oh, and then once I renamed it over here and gave it order year, I had it expression 1 over here the first time, so I got to go back and change it. So change it to order year, order year. Now what this is doing is it's telling you, hey, we're going to use this data set to get certain values and match them up. Now the value field is order year and the label is order year. Now you could, if you have different labels or different values, you could always change that around. But in our case right now, for simplicity, it's the same. Preview our report. Oh, since I added this, I gotta finish it up with the other ones now. So let's go ahead and just make the other parameters as well. So let's go to datasets. Let's go to add another dataset. We're gonna call this one territory group parameter. And for this, we're gonna just do a select group from sales territory. And again, we're going to do distinct here because if we don't, we'll get a lot of unnecessary rows. There we go. And then we go to territory group here. We assign the values, territory group parameter. We want the group field. Territory group parameter, group field. That one's done. Let's do our territory name. Select okay. Yep, only 10. That's good. That's good. Save it. Let's go ahead and preview. Okay, so there's something fishy going on over here. Oh, I didn't set this one. Territory name, name, territory name, name. Okay, so sometimes it gets really weird like that. I just close it out and reopen it. There we go. So there it is. You have only 4 values here. So we fixed that over there. Now we have these here and these here. So our parameters are working perfectly. Now this is a little bit messy, so we're going to fix that right here and see what happened. So we have our territory group, and it's only showing the Pacific. Now this is probably because, let's see here. Okay, so I think I figured it out here. I called the parameter in here territory, but then over here I had renamed it to territory name. So I just changed this back to territory instead of territory name. And now we should be good. So we're just going to assign these again. Save it. And let's go ahead and run it. It's still not working. Let's see what happened here. Oh, okay. That's a pretty simple fix. So in the territory parameter, allow multiples. And there we go. So now we have it working with the years. We got all the territory groups. So if we just click North America, it's only going to click North America. If we do just North America and Pacific, we got North America and Pacific. And we got all of them here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this name total to give it more clean of a look. And so this is giving us the territory groups, the territories, the total for those countries, but then I also want the total for the years. So I'm going to click on order year and say actually that's going to mess it up. There we go. Now we have the totals for each year at the bottom too. Now this is a whole jumbled mess. I'm going to go ahead and just real quick change it to the currency for both the totals. And let's spread it out a little bit. There we go. Now it looks like a report. So we have the territory groups, the territories, we got the years, and we have the ability to select certain years through our parameters, giving the user the options to pick whatever they want to pick and view the report as they need to. Now, the problem somebody might run into is, let's say I only want North America. I shouldn't have Australia in here. I shouldn't have United Kingdom, Germany. There's no point in having those in here. So what a cascading parameter is basically when I select any of these, only the territories that fall in the group with these will be selected. So when I do, let's say, Pacific, the only one that should be selected in here is Australia. So let's go ahead and set that up real quick. To do that, we're going to go into our territory name parameter. And we're going to modify it. So we're going to say select the territory name and the group from sales territory where the group is actually in our territory group parameter. Now let's watch this now, what happens. So now let's say we only want Europe. Now you have France, Germany, and the UK only. You don't need to worry about any of the other stuff. Let's say we only wanted North America. So now the options are, the other ones disappeared. You're only getting North America. Now that's cascading parameters. The last thing I'm going to do real quick, just to make it more clean, is this is too much of a mess right here. I'm going to go ahead and create the the drill down report part. So in the row groups for territory, for the territory name, we're going to go ahead on visibility. We're going to say that the territory group can toggle this, and we're going to hide it. So now when we pop open our report, everything is much cleaner. So if you want Europe, you can drill down to Europe. If you want North America, you can drill down North America, Pacific, and so on. So now you have parameters, cascading parameters, and a quick drill down tutorial in this. And so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know.